Rotary is international, and we all know that. And therefore, to be a Rotarian, you need to have an international touch in you before you be a member in Rotary. You have to have the feel of the world. You need to be global. You need to feel that you are part of this big world, and therefore you are the right member to be in any Rotary. I have been with the Rotary Club of Salmaniya for now many years. I want to tell you that one thing that helped me survive and be a good member at the Rotary Club of Salmaniya is my family tree. I'll give you a small story. My family tree, I am a Bahraini, my father Bahraini. Originally, we are from Saudi Arabia. We bred north of Saudi Arabia. My family, which is originally Al Asfur, went to Kuwait, and then from Kuwait came down to Bahrain. And Umran, who came from Bahrain, from the family, we became Al Umran. My grandmother is Omani. Her mother is from Myanmar, which is the end of the world on the other side, Asia. My mother is Lebanese, and her grandmother is Helen. She's from the UK. So I have a lot of wings, international wings around me. I fly everywhere. I can be from west or from east. That really made me, even in my work at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, successful in being the bilateral relation guy at the ministry. Because when you need to deal with the world, you need to love the world around you. And I want to start by saying I had a friend, an Iraqi friend, a dear friend. His name is Nashat Kutani. He used to work at the ministry at the Salmaniya a long time ago, and he tried in the early 70s, at the time when Abdullah Jum'a and all the other members were there to join the club. But unfortunately, I was working with His Excellency Sayyid Mahmoud Al-Alawi, the first Minister of Finance and National Economy, and I was traveling with him all the time. I was all the time on the run, so I didn't want to promise to be a Rotarian unless I become a really good Rotarian. A Rotarian has to enter Rotary when he is ready for it. And it is not a luncheon club. You don't go into the club just for the sake of having lunch, but you have to go to do some work. And therefore, in 1980 to 86, I had to go to Los Angeles with my family. I did my master and PhD studies there in economic development. And when I came back in 1987, Nashat Kutami came to me and met me again and said, how about now? Are you ready to go into the club? And I said, yes, I am, because I have time and I have to preserve some time for Rotary, because if I don't take Rotary serious, then I do not want to embarrass myself and be a member in the club. Therefore, I joined the club in 1987, and Nashat Kutami helped me to do that, and I really remember him, and I hope that he is still in good health. And between 87 and 2000, I had done a lot of work in a lot of departments, tried to help anybody who asked for my help, and based on that, I was happy. I was honored that the Paul Harris Medal was given to me, not because I had to pay for it or buy it, like sometimes you can do that, but because the Rotary International felt I deserved it, because I was really working very hard and serious in my club. So in the year 2000, 2001, I have decided to enter the presidency and to become the president of the club, but I had to take permission from my former minister of Foreign Affairs, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Mubarak Al Khalifa, who is also a Rotarian, and he understood that if he could release me for a year to work, to put part of my time into the Rotary, because you can either take it as a big job, or you can just be a Rotary just because you want to be a president. That's not what I wanted. Actually, I was so happy that at my time, always above 60% attendance were in the 2000 year, and I have a lot of witnesses, and I have one of them who's chairing the meeting today, um, and we are all يعني Sabahat knows, and a lot of the people who were with me there helped me helped me have that year a successful year. The best part, one of the good things we've done that year when I was the president is I moved the raft race to Al Bandar Resort, because Al Bandar Resort raft race in Hid was a little bit a problem. There were a lot of conservative people, and they did not like people running around in the shores, and they did not like the raft race. So to protect the raft race, I moved it to Al Bandar, which is more private, and my friend Rotarian Ismail Khunji helped me do that because he chaired the raft race team that year. And by the way, I also invited that during the first raft race at Al Bandar, I have invited His Excellency Sheikh Fawaz Al Khalifa to be the honorary guest. He was the Minister of Youth, so he was our honorary guest that time. So from there on, the raft race stayed rolling every year after year at the Bandar, Al Bandar, and we used to make a lot of money, guys. Really, we'll talk about sometimes it hits 60,000 dinars, which is a lot of money to do in a raft race. And also one interesting story I'm just giving you some nice stories because that makes it more fun. One of the things I want you to know that Rotary, wherever you go in anywhere in the world, you need to advertise, you need to promote your club. Your club should be dear to you, and wherever you go, you should always advertise for your club and tell the world that your club is the best club in the world. It has to be your feeling, inside feeling. When I went, I had to go and visit my son Ahmed, who was working in Houston, Texas, one time, and there I attended one of the lunches of the Houston club, Rotary Club Houston in Houston, and the members there, believe it or not, they had something like 800 members attending every time. So that's a big, big club. And while I was sitting having lunch, they decided somebody will stand up and speak on behalf of the Gulf, he's from I think Dubai or Abu Dhabi or somewhere. And I felt motivated that I really have to let the guys there sitting know about Bahrain, because everybody I sit beside ask him about Bahrain, I tell him about Bahrain. Nobody knows what's Bahrain, where is Bahrain, who is Bahrain, they don't know. So I asked the president there, I told him, I'm a president from Rotary, and you are the president. Can you please allow me next luncheon talk for 10 minutes? He said, what are you going to talk about? I said, I'm going to talk about my country, Bahrain. He said, you mean Berlin? I said, no, not Berlin. I'm saying Bahrain. Bahrain is a place in the Gulf. It's in the center of the Middle East. And when I went there he allowed me, and when I went there the next luncheon and talked about Bahrain, I showed them that Bahrain is paradise. It is the best part. It's the nicest country in the world. And everybody was impressed, thank God. And they all were happy that I, in those 10 minutes, was able to quickly tell them about my country. It happened the next week. Unfortunately, the Gulf Air, you remember the crash of the Gulf Air when all the people died in our Gulf Air in Bahrain. It was the next week when I went for lunch to the same club. Believe it or not, the 800 people were standing in queue, shaking hands with me and paying condolence to me, because after all these people now they know where is Bahrain and who's Bahrain, because they saw it in the newspaper and they said, well, somebody last week talked to us about Bahrain and we know where is Bahrain. So they were all really uh, uh, sad, but for me, I'm sad and happy because I have really passed the message and invited every one of them to come to Bahrain. Later, I have decided to resign because I felt that I had a lot of pressure at work, and I asked the club to excuse me that if I can resign, but but my club were nice enough to insist that I could stay even if I'm very busy, because I was very busy at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. I became an undersecretary, so I had really a lot of work. So they decided that I should stay as an honorary. They promoted me to an honorary member at the club, and therefore from there on I used able to go in and out, but I'm not really had to be 100% committed. But when it came 1st of April 2017, I retired from the ministry because I've done all what I can do over 45 years of service to the government. So they all celebrated, and they were with me, and they were happy that I was satisfied. I really wanted to take my time to be myself, and so I wanted to go back to my friends, the Rotarians, and I went back. And the Rotarians told me, if you're going to be an honorary member, you're going only to sit and eat, have your lunch and go home. So your choice is to be an honorary member or leave your honorary membership, get out of it and become a normal Rotarian if you really want to work. And for me, طبعا, it was a pleasure for me to leave my honorary title and go as a normal Rotarian, because I feel if I am a Rotarian, either I do some work or I better not to be in the club. So here I am, dear friends, I am now willing to serve my club, and I have been serving my club for a long time, and I want you to know that I have some favorite issues that I always concentrate on when we talk in the club. I like to concentrate on issues like youth, like the environment, like economic development, since I'm a PhD in economics, and also membership development. I can go for an hour and a half, but I wanted to thank you all for listening to me, and wishing your club, our club, my club, and your club the best forever. Thank you.